Race amity combined with education is the key to the future of this country. And we have to know each other. We have to learn to live with each other. We have to respect each other. We have to recognize our differences, but respect those differences. Understand that we don't all have to come from the same cultural background or the same ideological background, but we do come from the same basic background of being a human being. We're all members of one race. We are members of the human race.
When it comes down to staying in contact with the humanity of each other, that racial amity sits at the very center, because what it says is that there is possibilities of being in contact with the humanity of each other, no matter what color, or class, or gender, or sexual orientation, or national identity, and that therefore there's some hope for love and justice in a world of such overwhelming hatred, contempt, domination, and oppression. Racial amity is an idea whose time has come.
The March on Washington marked a revolutionary moment in America's long struggle towards racial equality and was a nation-changing display of commitment and unity of races and cultures to social justice. But the seeds of this movement were planted centuries earlier, when America was just forming as a nation. From interracial communities along the eastern seaboard during the colonial era to multiracial abolitionist cohorts and collaborations on the Underground Railroad through the formation of America. Historic civil rights organizations like the NAACP in the early 20th century, up to the present-day calls for justice by scores of organizations in the wake of the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Tyree Nichols, are working to change injustice. They are committed to establishing a truly just, multiracial democracy and are powered by people of different races marching arm in arm and working together. With these powerful historic and contemporary examples as inspiration, the National Center for Race Amity enters its 14th year, developing initiatives and forums to advance access, equity, and social justice through cross-racial and cross-cultural amity. These initiatives include the Campus Conversations on Race program, an annual national conference going into its 14th year, National Race Amity Day festivals held in over 100 cities and towns around the country, with 5 states establishing Race Amity Day proclamations. A unanimous 2016 Race Amity Day resolution in the U.S. Senate, co-production of an award-winning feature-length documentary film with a curriculum guide, and the recently released 5 half-hour series for public television, Stories of Race Amity and the Other Tradition, distributed nationwide to public television stations. Creation of a non-toxic race dialogue board game, breaking it down toward E Pluribus Unum. Creation of the Race Amity Theater Project for middle and high school students, which featured the original plays Zernona and the Grand Dragon X and Anne and Emmett as artistic-based learning for race amity. Piloting of Race Amity Fellowships at Roxbury Community College, where the fellows serve as mentors in a Saturday program, the Race Amity Leadership Academy, with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. The goal is to engage young people in active experiences, promoting cross-race and cross-cultural relationship, while establishing a model for national replication by community colleges and boys and girls clubs across the nation. And now, as we move forward in the second decade of our efforts, we expand into a new era and a new evolution of our work. In addition to the work being developed at the National Center for Race Amity in Boston, NCRA will soon open a brick and mortar educational center, the National Race Amity Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. The National Race Amity Institute will serve the national community as a hub for learning and exporting the key tenets of race amity thought. It will provide pathways for academics, teachers, students, C-suite leaders, and others to study and actualize deeper cross-racial relationships and collaborations to continue taking action. Programs being developed for the National Race Amity Institute include academic research courses in Race Amity, training seminars focusing on appreciative inquiry as the framework for race amity-based community building, and ongoing teacher education workshops based on the highly regarded Unity Works model. The National Race Amity Institute is being constructed in the historic Edgewood district of Atlanta, Georgia, with generous financial support from Yavari Enterprises and a $1.4 million renovation grant from the City of Atlanta's Civic Engagement Office. The facility is just a block and a half from Dr. King's Ebenezer Baptist Church and the historic Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site. We invite you to join us in support of the long-cherished American tradition of race amity. Contact us at www.raceamity.org.